Alright, so in this video, I'm going to tell you how I randomly ran into DucatiNYC. Let's check it out. What's going on YouTube? BKLO is back in the building. As you can see, we are out here in the beautiful Catskills. Leaves are changing. Things are changing, as always. And for you all out there who motovlog, are you guys ever in situations where really interesting and fascinating moments happen and you just wish you had your camera running? Well, I had that type of moment a week ago. Here I am, just filling up gas in like a ghost town out here in the Catskills where I never see another soul for miles. And I just hear this bike roll by. Pretty loud, good sounding bike. And then I see it pass by and I immediately know that bike. It's a Ducati Monster. It's got a nice little tour pack packed on the back, and I can see the helmet's a white showy RF 1200. And I know there's only one rider who is riding up here this late in the season with that type of setup. That's none other than DucatiNYC. So my first instinct was, let me just jump on the bike and go, you know, speed up and eventually catch up with him and say what's up so we can finally get a ride in. But then I was thinking, and I'm like, well, he probably saw me, and he's looking at a Dyna with an FXRT fairing with a golden Simpson helmet. There's not too many other people running that setup, especially up here in the Catskills on a random bleak day in the fall. So I'm like, he had to have seen me, and I would imagine he's gonna turn around and say what's up. Literally 5 minutes later, I hear the bike coming back, and then he pulls up, and then of course the epic reunion happens. Because I had not seen him since 2018 when I ran into him at a gas station and actually met him for the first time. And again, that was over 2 years ago. And ever since then, we've just been trying to coordinate here and there to get a ride in. But you know what happens, you know, life happens, you know, things get busy, you know, you set your best intentions to get a ride in, but lo and behold, 2 years go by in a blink of an eye and you still haven't gotten your ride in. So the constellations aligned in such a way that, you know, the motorcycle gods just brought us together on that day. So we met up at the gas station, said what's up, you know, and then, you know, he was heading up, you know, I think like maybe 20 or 30 miles north. He was planning on camping, and I was just out for a random little rip after work that day. And we were just like, yo, let's get some miles in. So we actually rode on this road that we're on right now, which is why I decided to shoot this video, because it reminded me of that day. So I'm sure that at this point he's probably dropped his video of us riding together on this road. Of course, I have Jen on the back right now, so I'm definitely not riding anything like I was riding in that video, but I was definitely scraping some floorboard on some of these curves because, you know, he's got the camera rolling on me. I don't want to let his fans down or let the FXDLS Brooklyn fans down. I wanted to make sure I did my best to represent FXDLS Brooklyn on our first ride together. So he even said when we pulled over, he's like, "Yo, you're getting a little spicy there, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, you know how we do." But yeah, we had a really nice rip. Probably ripped, 10 miles north. Stopped at this really nice lake. And yeah, we just chilled. He had himself a nice smoke. We were just hanging out. Got some nice pictures. And we kept rolling. Stopped up in Roscoe. Took some pictures at the Eagle mural. And then we went our separate ways. That was it. So that's just like one of the things that I love about the motorcycle community, especially here in New York, is things like that just happen. You just happen to run into familiar faces even 100 miles outside of your city, and it's always exciting when that happens. So that was a really exciting moment. And he's a moto vlogger that I've definitely had a lot of respect for and a lot of admiration for years, because I think his riding style is pretty similar to my riding style, which is taking a bike that is not known for touring and is not known for going the distance and really pushing it to its maximum. Whereas for me, I took a Dyna and have taken it cross country multiple times, ridden it to Canada. I've pushed this bike to its limits, even though it's technically not a touring model. And that's been my riding style, go fast, go far. And he's taken it to a whole nother level where he's done the same things I've done on a Ducati Monster. Where it's like, if you respect me for the riding I've done, I think he deserves twice the amount of respect for doing that on a Ducati Monster. And, he's just a really good example of, it really doesn't matter what bike you ride. If you have the will, if you really have that iron will, and you're really about those real miles, you could push your bike to really do anything. And he's a great example of that. So check out his content. That's DucatiNYC, also coming out of Brooklyn. I think you'll enjoy it. Tell him I sent you. And yeah, he's hilarious. And definitely a genuine, sincere rider, and it was a pleasure to get some miles with you. So as we pass through here in the beautiful town of Roscoe, I figured I did just want to tell you guys about that anecdotal. I think you could expect at some point him and us to get together. I was talking to my buddy, the illustrator. We wanted to get a little ride together with the three of us, so that should come at some point. So stay tuned for that. A lot of his fans are requesting that him and I switch bikes and do separate reviews. Perhaps we could do something like that. I've actually never ridden a Ducati Monster, so that would be exciting for me. I'm a pretty big fan of those, actually. I think Monsters are really cool. And yeah, shout out to this pizza spot. Great pizza here. But on that, as always, remember, it does not matter what you ride. It only matters that you ride. And as I almost go down a one-way street, yeah, but I'm digressing. As always, stay safe out there. Embrace diversity. If it's not diverse, it's probably just boring. And on that, BKLO is out.